of Education, Youth and Information, and welcome to Educating a Nation, a sensitization session for the new school term. We've created this space for you. We felt it is important for you to understand what will be coming over the next few weeks with our new school space. We've heard your concerns, and we would like these sessions to prepare you as students and parents. So send in your questions and we will answer them. These sessions are designed to uplift, give a voice to the various stakeholders, and share tips on how best to deal with the new school term. Today I will be learning, like you, some of the cool online programs we'll be using. But first up, a recap of day one. And after that, we'll be joined once again by power speaker, Dr. Donovan Thomas.
We'll also be doing some special lessons for students with intellectual disabilities, focusing mainly on life skills, which is one of their areas of deficiencies.
What are some of the measures that parents can take to assist their children in this difficult time? It's very stressful. What are some of the measures that they can actually put in place to help them?
We suggest talking with the children. Nothing beats talking and explaining. You may think they don't understand, but break it down. Break it down as simple as is possible. Talk to them, listen to them. Listen to what they're saying, listen to their fears. Try as best as possible to comfort them. So you're talking, you're listening, you're comforting. And we're asking parents not to transfer your fears to your children. So there are helplines that are set up by the NPSC through the Ministry of Education in collaboration with UNICEF and VM Foundation. And we're asking parents to access those helplines for themselves so their fears can be settled, and then they can comfort and listen and talk to the children what exactly is going on, what it means, what are we going through, what to expect, how to wash their hands. And you can work with the children, you make up stories and you make up songs, and this will calm our children, put them somewhat at peace. Our children are very resilient. They are very, very resilient, and they will overcome.
We want to ensure that we establish a timetable. This is important also because it provides some amount of structure for the child. And the literature, based on what the literature is saying to us, that children operate best when they have a structure to work in. However, it does not need to be very rigid. So homeschooling allows for this beautiful flexibility in which the children can operate and work. So we encourage our parents to establish this program.
And most importantly, one of the things that is a big takeaway from this in the ministry's handling is this whole idea of group accountability. The truth is the ministry has done so much, but we have also engaged all our stakeholders. We have led consultation sessions consistently, continuously through the period of the pandemic with our principals, our board chairmen, our students, and our parents, and we continue to provide support for them as we move forward.
So it's a comprehensive response.
Yes, it's a comprehensive response that goes even as far as taking into consideration things like provision of e-books for all levels of the system. And of course, where students are unable to access the internet, we do have printing facilities and the printing of learning kits so students can still work from home. We don't want any child at all to be left out of the teaching and learning.
Of course, psychosocial would involve anything that relates to affecting the mind and the environment around us. What is it around us? What are those variables that will present a condition that affects the way we think and therefore the way we behave? And so the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information wants Jamaica to be very clear that it is not a word that one needs to be afraid of, but we ought to embrace it because it affects everything we do every day. You will see somebody on the street who is very angry and undertakes. And then you will say, did he just do that? Oh, yes, he did. Should you stop him or her to say, why would you do that? You might not like the answers. This person could be affected by several experiences and simply just taking it out on you. Psychosocial support will help us to consider what just happened, the thought processes involved, and our behavior as we tend to make sure we manage our social environment in a way that's appropriate.
Good morning, students, teachers, parents, administrators, and friends. I am Dr. Donovan Thomas, President and founder of Choose Life International, and it is such a joy to be with you once again. Yesterday we had such fun as we talked about Yes You Can. Today we will have even more fun as we focus on Be Happy. In a moment we'll sing a song, but before we do, I want to ask you, what really is happiness? Happiness is a pleasurable or satisfying experience. Yes, it is a state of well-being and contentment, and we encourage you in the midst of all that is going on to be happy. You are in charge of your happiness, and I want to encourage you to choose happiness today. Let's now join in the song. Being happy doesn't mean that everything is perfect. It means that you have decided to look beyond the imperfections. In spite of what's going on, there are challenges and there are difficulties. The happiest people don't have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything. In this COVID time, there are all kinds of difficulties, there are all kinds of challenges, and we want to encourage you, wherever you are, students, teachers, parents, to make the best of your situation. Now we want to talk about 7 ways to be happy. The first thing I'd like to say is count your blessings. Yes, there are difficulties and challenges. Things have changed. But right now, we can have an attitude of gratitude. Yes, we have food, we have shelter. And what a joy to be back with your schooling on this, the second day of school. Tomorrow, my wife, Faith Thomas, will continue to help you to talk about gratitude is a must. The second way to be happy is practice acts of kindness. You can do deliberate acts of kindness. You can do things that are going to help people in order to help them to be able to enjoy life. You can do random or deliberate acts of kindness. Third principle is manage stress. How do you manage stress? Yes, these times are challenging times. These times are stressful times. These times can really cause all kinds of anxieties. But want to be able to manage what's going on there. Yes, we want to speak the word over people's life. We want to help them as we practice acts of kindness, deliberate acts of kindness, and random acts of kindness. Sometimes we speak words that are negative. You can be kind with your words. As we go through this school term, I want to encourage you to use kind words to your friends, to your parents, to your teachers. Be kind. I want to remind you, before you spit out those words, taste them. Some of those words can be so very bitter. As you deal with speaking with each other, speak positive words. Stressful times ask us to do things differently. As we deal with the stress of today, we want to encourage you to eat properly, drink enough water, get time to relax, do some exercise, listen to some music. Just find ways to just relax. Now, I want you to join me as we do a relaxation exercise. Wherever you are, I'm going to ask you to be involved with me as we do the deep breathing exercise. Yes, you too. Yeah, all of you. We're going to count to 5. Then we're going to hold it for 5. And we're going to breathe out on 5. So here we go now. Breathe in. On the count of up to 5, you're going to breathe in slowly. Hold for 5 and breathe out slowly. So now we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 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 hold. Breathe out slowly through your mouth. Yes. As we go through these difficult times, I want to encourage you to find ways to just deal with the stress. Another way to cope with stress is to do those muscle contraction and relaxation exercises. Yes, you can contract the muscles from your face right down to your toes. Like you can make up that monkey face and hold it there for a while. Release. Then up with your shoulders. Yes, up with your shoulders. Release. Then contract your muscles in your stomach. Pull them in, pull them in, pull them in. Release. Yes. One more time. In. Release. Then up on your toes. Yes, up on your toes. Then down. So we go through the muscles from the head right down to the toes, and we can experience relaxation and cope with that stress. These are challenging times, and we have got to choose to deal with the stress. I want to ask you to lighten up and enjoy life. Find some things to laugh about. I ask you, parents, teachers, students, what's the funniest thing or the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you? I asked that question some time ago, and a teacher said to me that she was in the square, some sharp square actually. Somebody came up behind her and put his hands over her eyes and said, guess who? You know that game that we play from time to time? And she said, she went through all the list of names that she could think about, our friends who would come and do that. The person said, no, 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 no. She said, the person said to her, you give up? She said, no. She went on again and just took another guess and guess and guess. Finally, she gave up. When she looked around, it was the community madman. Before you could think about it, her high heel shoes was on one side of the street and she was over the other side. Think about some good things that happen and just smile, just laugh. Laughter is still the best medicine. I want to encourage you as you go through this school term to smile a little bit more. Smile with your parents. Smile while you're online. Smile in good times. Smiling is good for you. You know what? Smiling makes you more attractive. Smiling changes your mood. Smiling helps you stay positive. And that's what we want to do in these times. We want to encourage you to stay positive in these times. In the face of the difficulties and challenges, stay positive. I want to tell you the story of a man called Ron Hagee. I met him some time ago, and he was in a wheelchair. When he was 17 years old, he had an accident that left him crippled from the neck down. Wow. He went through difficulties and challenges. He just couldn't deal with the problems that he encountered. He was even so frustrated that he had these negative thoughts. He even thought about killing himself. When I met him, he shared his story of how he had gone through school. Yes, he couldn't use his hands to write, but he had gone on to do a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. He used a pen in his mouth in order to type on the keyboard. And he decided that he was going to make it. In spite of what's going on, I want to say to you, be positive, be happy, work through what's going on. May I remind you that life is 10% of what happens and 90% of how you respond. Here are the words from Ron Hagee. He says, I am a never give up person. I believe my life has purpose and value. I will pursue my purpose daily. I will set my goals and not allow the negativity of others to distract me in achieving them. I am the master of my attitude. Today I choose to be positive. I will love life and press on. Even in the midst of my struggles, I believe I can. Therefore I will. I will tap into my full potential, and with the help of others, I will reach dreams that on my own are impossible. I will be strong to the finish. I will never give up. At the end of the day, when I lay my head down, I will rest in peace because I have faith, hope, and love. Words from a man who was crippled, who decided that he was going to make it in spite of what's going on. The sixth principle I want to share with you is forgiveness. I want to encourage you to let go the hurts of the past and forgive. Yes, children carry hurts. Yes, parents carry hurt. Yes, teachers may have hurts and pain. I want to ask you to let go of the hurt and the pain, those things that chain you to the ground. I encourage you to start this new term afresh. Do you need to forgive mommy? Who do you need to forgive? Let them go. Unforgiveness destroys the vessel in which it is carried. Let go of those painful memories and reclaim your peace of mind. Final principle I want to share with you, develop your spiritual life. This is a critical step to powerful living. Developing your spiritual life gives your life meaning and purpose. Research shows that having strong religious convictions lead to greater happiness. The story is told in Acts chapter 16 about a man who was going through a tough time. He was so frustrated that he decided he was going to kill himself. He took the weapon and was about to kill himself when Paul shouted, "Do yourself no harm, we're all here." He changed his mind from the negative to the positive. He decided that he was going to choose life. He gave his life to the Lord Jesus Christ, and he experienced greater joy than ever before. He and his whole household find greater peace and greater joy. I want to encourage you, even as you deal with the challenges, just remember that there's a God who is interested in your situation. He wants to come in and he wants to provide the help and the support that you need to be able to make it. As a child, at 11 years old, just before I did my common entrance exam, I made that decision to give my life to Jesus. He helped me through high school, he has helped me through college, and he's helping me with other things. I want to encourage you in the midst of all that is going on, just know that you can cast your cares on him because he cares. Those who have a spiritual connection are happier. Do you recall these 7 principles we have talked about? Let's have them again. Number 1, count your blessings. Yes, there are some good things going on. I want to encourage you to count your blessings. Do acts of kindness. Those who are involved in acts of kindness are happier people. Be kind to people at home. Be kind to people online. Be kind as you interact. Number 4, be positive. Like Ron Hagee, you can change your mind about what's happening. Remember, life is 10% of what happens and 90% of how you respond. Lighten up and enjoy life. Laughter is still the best medicine. And then number 6 says, forgive. Unforgiveness destroys the vessel in which it is carried. Do you have issues? Do you have hurts and pain? Have you been carrying all the anger, I want to ask you to do yourself a favor and rid yourself, put away all that hurt and pain. Nelson Mandela said that as I walked out of the prison, if I didn't leave all the anger, the hurt, and the bitterness behind, that I would still be in prison. Unforgiveness destroys. Unforgiveness paralyzes. And unforgiveness incapacitates us. It's a paralysis that we can do well without this term. Number 7, we want to encourage you to develop your spiritual life. Take time to pray. Take time to read the Word. Take time to grow in God. Tell somebody about the goodness of God. I share with you a word as we wrap up, and it is shalom. Shalom has several meanings. It means completeness, wholeness, health, well-being. It means peace, welfare, tranquility, peace with God, prosperity, peace with man. It means rest. And that's what I'd like for you to go through this term with. It's the absence. Shalom reminds us of the absence of agitation and discord. So, here's my challenge to you. As you go through this term, I want you to greet your friends with the word shalom. You're making a declaration over their lives. Greet your teacher, shalom. We're making a declaration as we're saying prosperity, perfectness, peace, rest, tranquility, welfare. I want to encourage you right now to do what is necessary to take back your happiness. You have control over you. You have control over your happiness. Be happy. Let's pray. Lord, I pray right now over our students, our teachers, our parents, our administrators. I ask that you would bless them. I pray over this school term in a very special way. We pray, Lord, that you will come alongside us and help us in every way possible. We pray for students with unforgiveness. We pray for students who are hurting. We pray for teachers with unforgiveness. We ask that you will touch them. We pray, Lord, for administrators who are uncertain about how to make things happen this term. We pray that you would bless. Bless the Ministry of Education. Thank you, Lord, for all the efforts that have been made to be able to just make things happen for the interest of our nation's students. We pray that you will come through for us. We pray for parents who are frustrated, trying to balance work and students at home. Give them wisdom beyond their ages, beyond their training, and beyond their experience. We ask God that you'll be there for them. Lord, as a nation, we pray for your help. Help us, Lord, to observe the protocol so that we avert crises. May we do all we can to think positively and to make our contribution to the well-being of this nation. Lord, we come before you and we pray for our leaders in every way. We pray that we will choose to be happy. Lord, help us to remember that happiness is not something that other people give to us, but we create it. May we find that place of peace, of contentment, of joy, of happiness as we go through these challenging times. Show up in our lives and be there for us. Bless our students again and continue to watch over us, continue to lead as we give you all the glory and all the praise. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Shalom. Shalom. Completeness, contentment, tranquility, rest. Peace with God, peace with man. May that be your portion and your experience today and every day. Do your best to take back control of your life and choose happiness. Happiness is indeed a choice. Make that choice today. And keep singing that song.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Good morning, Miss Myers. Good morning, classmates. And may God bless you always. No, that doesn't sound right. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to see everybody. No, that don't sound good either. Oh, God, I don't want to go to school this way.
Marsha!
Yes, Mommy, I'm just fixing my uniform.
Then who are you inside there talking to? I hope you're not on your phone playing PUBG when I ask you to try your uniform, you know.
No, Mommy.
You look so neat. All right, listen. It's back to school time. Everyone has to prepare themselves. And I'm not going to sit here, let you idle your time and not get ready. You know how much money I spent to make you ready? This COVID costing us more than we thought. See, I have to buy you a desk, a chair, and everything else you need for your lesson. And all kind of things to ensure that you're ready. Hello? Michelle, what's up? Not that thing, my sister. I'm here giving a Marsha talking to. Because it look like she don't realize that it's school time now and there is no time for games and gimmicks. Yes. I know she's your favorite niece. So maybe you can talk some sense into her.
Hello, Auntie Michelle.
Hello, my favorite niece.
Auntie, I am your only niece.
Exactly why you will always be the favorite. So tell me, my niece, why you not get ready for school?
I was trying on my uniform, Auntie. Mommy just heard me talking to myself and assumed I was wasting time. Sometimes Mommy doesn't listen.
So what were you talking about? Remember Pauline just having a lot of changes going on, you know. It's a lot for her to handle, man.
I know, Auntie, it's just that...
It's just that what, Marsha?
Hold on, no, Pauline, man. Hold on, no, man. Let us hear what it is she has to say, man. Tell me something, Marsha. Are you worried about virtual school?
Yes, Auntie. And Mommy. It's my first day in high school and I was looking forward to seeing my teachers and seeing the other students so I could make new friends. I was looking forward to school. Mommy, I worked really hard to pass my PEP exam. And now COVID-19 just come and mess up everything. I can't go to school. Well, not real school anyway.
Come, sit down. I didn't know that the children feel this way too. The truth is, COVID-19 came suddenly and changed the course of life for everybody.
Exactly. And the newness is scary for everybody. But tell me something, Marsha. What are some of the things that you are most worried about virtual school?
Okay, so will this look like real school? Will I be able to ask questions in class? Will it start early in the morning like regular school? Do I have to wear this uniform since I'm at home? Will I have to sit in front of the computer all day?
Oh God, hold on. One question at a time, Marsha. Don't worry. Remember, you're not in this alone.
You know, I was doing some online preparations, you know, and I found these lovely etiquette rules. I think they'll be very helpful.
Etiquette? What is that?
Tell you what, I'm going to email it to you right now, alright? I want both of you to look at it. Go through them together, read them through, okay, my niece? And then later on we will talk. And remember, Marsha, you are
always awesome.
Thank you, Auntie.
All right, Michelle. Oh, so that's why it is called etiquette.
Net etiquette.
Okay. So these are like code of conducts for virtual classroom. I know I found some on distant learning tips on Google the other day.
So, first thing in the morning is show up on time. So, what time did the timetable say we must start again?
Well, classes starts at 8:30. But remember, we want to be respectful. And virtual school will operate just like regular school. So worship starts at 7:45, then roll call and welcome will be at 8:15 and classes at 8:30.
You know what I can do in the nights then, Mommy? Check my timetable for the next day and then pack my bag with all the resources I'll need and put out the ones for the first class.
Very good. That's a great idea. So you can wake up at 6, bathe, eat your breakfast, get dressed, and be ready for your work area at 7:40. Remember that your video will always be on at all times. So you cannot be eating during the sessions. And there shouldn't be nothing distracting you in this area.
You mean like Mary and our little lamb? I know you're going to tell me about Fluffy.
No, Fluffy cannot come to school with you.
You know, in grade 6 last term, while we were having classes online, some children were eating during the sessions. That was not good to watch. And some would say bad words. And Miss had to mute everybody. And you know what some children did? They started to quarrel in the chat.
Yes, that is inappropriate behavior for virtual space. We have to respect each other. So you will always stay on mute and raise your hand or use the raise hand emoji if you must speak, or place your questions in the chat so other persons can see and even guide the teacher to the fact that there's a question.
Yes, and some students were just writing some stuff and not reading. So the same question posted over and over again. And then we eventually gone off the topic.
Yes. And make sure that whatever you write is appropriate for the teachers and your parents.
Yes, Mommy.
You know a major challenge with communicating this way? The tone. It is hard to read online. So be careful what you write and make sure no sarcasm is in your words.
Yes.
Remember, if something would offend you,
don't do it to others.
Exactly.
So, Mommy, one last question. Why we have to wear our uniforms since we are at home?
Well, would you really feel like you're going to school if you were not dressed like this? The ministry recognizes the need to keep things as close to normal as possible. Besides, we must maintain the air of professionalism. Trust me, it will help you to be more prepared. And remember, we're in this together.
Welcome back. It's all about virtual school today, and as you can see from that video, a new frontier for some. On set with me is Dwayne Campbell, CEO and founder of Book Fusion. Welcome, Dwayne.
Thank you, Cassie.
So we're back at school, and instead of actual books, we now have virtual books. Let us go to a video, Dwayne.
All right.
Alex, why are you so quiet?
I am reading.
Oh, really now?
Seriously, Mommy. Reading is now fun with Book Fusion.
Book Fusion? What is that?
Book Fusion is an ebook platform that makes reading so exciting. It has a whole lot of books with animation, videos, read along, and so much more. I can practice for my math test, spend time answering science questions, or just color.
Where did you get it?
I downloaded it from the App Store. Now I can read anytime I want, anywhere. It's so easy.
How did you pay for it?
It's free, Mommy. And a lot of these books are free too. They are from the digital library of the Ministry of Education. And look here, Mommy. There are so many other engaging books for you, for me, for Daddy, and even Chrissy's CXC.
Wow.
Yes, Mommy. Book Fusion. Reading redefined.
So Dwayne is here to tell us all about eResources book app. What is the MOE Resources app? What is that, Dwayne?
Yeah, so, well, the MOE eResources app is an app powered by the Book Fusion platform that provides access to grade-level content to students. So students are able to easily download the app from the App Store and get access to ebooks, audiobooks, interactive content that matches the national standard curriculum.
Very good, Dwayne. I'm impressed. So is this available on all computers?
Well, the ministry started rolling out, and it's available for all Android devices, you know, whether it's for your phone or it's for your tablet devices. The ministry is now in the process of rolling out the MOE eResources app, so that it will be available across iOS and also on desktop devices as well. So it's not there yet, but they're getting there.
And how do I access it?
All right, so how to access the MOE eResources app, you just simply go to the Play Store. Once you're in the Play Store, you type in MOEYI eResources app, then you click install. Once it's installed and on the device, you're now able to access the app. And so as you're able to see in this demo on the screen here, you're able to select your grade level, and then you're able to easily select any one of the resources relevant to your grade. And so this is just a quick demo of showing grade 9, and this grade 9 individual was able to access textbooks from chemistry, physics, mathematics, and also literature. And this access is also available offline and online.
So no one will have to worry that the content there is contrary to the national standards curriculum. How do I have to purchase it?
The good thing is that the MOE Resources app is 100% free, so you won't need a credit card or any form of payment. All you just need to do is install the app on your device. All right? And additionally, students will also get access to additional texts, you know, via access codes. So the ministry will be assigning access codes to students, which will give access to additional content.
There was something on the news last night about copyright, and I know that this has been something in the public domain that is being discussed. Is there an infringement of any copyright law by using this app?
That's a great question. In terms of copyright and intellectual property, the Ministry of Education takes that very seriously, and also Book Fusion. And so the technology behind Book Fusion enforces and protects the intellectual property rights of publishers and authors. And so we have international standards across the board that we implement across our platform. And our technology is also used to give secure access to content that the ministry have procured from publishers and also content that they have developed themselves. And so, you know, we're in full compliance with the BIAJ and JAM copy. So we take that very seriously.
There are a number of ebooks already listed, and it does say that the ebooks are available for children all the way to adults. Does that include me, or are we speaking specifically to tertiary students?
Well, when talking about the MOE eResources app, it might not be targeted at you directly, you know, but some of the stories, you know, might help to bring back very happy childhood memories, so you know, nostalgic. So you could check some out. Yes. But outside of that, the MOE eResources app will have content from early childhood all the way up to sixth form, for example. And since that app is also powered by the Book Fusion platform, you know, if you want to access the content for yourself as well, you can just go to bookfusion.com, and we'll have a wide range of Caribbean and international content for you.
Okay, this is so good because, you know, during this time, parents spend so much time and so much money purchasing books. So this is actually a wonderful option that the app is here and it's free. So it is a cost-saving mechanism that the ministry would have employed. So everybody can now access free books. Am I right, Dwayne?
Yeah, you're 100% right. Everyone will have access to a bunch of resources that the Ministry of Education has invested time to create, and through that app. But I don't want to mislead and say everything is 100% free, and also content will be accessible at a reduced cost. But when it comes to the Ministry of Education approved book list, they'll be providing access codes to school to give free access to that content.
Okay. So these textbooks, are these textbooks or does the app support interactivity?
All right, that's a good question. So the initial rollout would be for just textbooks, but not only that, they also have interactive content. And so we'll cut to a clip where we'll show you how some of that rich interactivity that's supported in the app. So, when looking at this video, as you can see, you can imagine from early childhood and even going up to primary, a lot of this content in its static form is pretty much not very useful. So the app supports interactivity such as you can trace letters, for students to get that tactile learning experience. You can color, you can highlight, any kind of interactivity that you can really think of. You'll just be limited by your imagination. So this rich set of interactivity is supported in the platform and digitally for the first time. And so the ministry, with the help of Book Fusion, is moving towards creating a lot of this richly interactive content that will help increase learning outcomes.
So you're pretty much saying that this is user-friendly?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay. And so children all the way from kindergarten, from early childhood, shouldn't have no issue using the app.
Yeah, so children from early childhood all up to primary will have no issue using the app. So the ministry did small pilots with schools before, and so they looked at the user experience for the app. And so, it's very intuitive. As you know, kids nowadays take up their parents' phone and the devices and are able to click and move through the apps. And so they were able to easily access these resources with no issues.
So for ease of reference, what does the app look like? Is it easy to find in the Play Store?
Yes, so the app, it's very easy to find. If you type MOEE resources, you'll see an app. The app icon would have the Jamaica coat of arms, and you'll see it has red, blue, and a big E. And so once you hit that install, it's the only app in the Play Store that references MOEYI. Then it will be installed on your device. And the beauty about the app is you don't have to be online to access this content. So once you download the app, install it, and then access the ebook, that ebook or video or interactive content is available to you offline. So in students in not only in the city areas, but students in rural Jamaica with no internet connectivity can just go to a hotspot, install the app, download their resources, and then access it at home. When they go back to, a hotspot, if they completed questions, for example, the progress will be synced seamlessly back to the platform.
Oh, that's wonderful. And so for students and parents, this is easy to use. I want to reiterate that. That's what you said. It's very easy to use. Is there anything else you'd want to add?
Yeah, so, what I want to add is that the app has many benefits, and so the ministry has spent the time to invest and build out this app. And so some of the benefits include, as I touched on, online and offline access. And so now students also are able to do self-directed learning. So students can not only just read, but then at the end of each chapter or the book, they can take these assessments to get feedback whether they're right or wrong. And so they're able to not only do the self-directed learning and not wait on the teacher for a response to then guide them back into rereading specific sections. Outside of that, the ministry is also working to make the app support for special needs. So support is coming for the blind. A pilot was done there as well. There is support for the open dyslexic font in the app to support reading deficiencies. And additionally, you have free resources from the app that you can get to complement the curriculum. So outside of the content that the ministry has provided, they're also providing additional open educational resources that you can then, the students and parents can then get access to.
Okay, so that actually excites me. So now I'm being told that the education system is not just talking about inclusiveness, but here we have an app that is speaking to persons who have disabilities or who have in general special needs. I'm particularly interested to hear that you have included for those persons who have visual impairments or who are blind, and for persons who have learning disorders like dyslexia. That is very good to hear. In terms of parents now, I know that there are some parents who are just not tech savvy, and you've been saying quite a lot. How can you now just reassure parents that this is something for them to not worry about, it's easy to use, and what are some of the simple tips you could probably give to them?
All right, so for parents, you know, what would say is that starting with tip number one, just be open to trying new experiences that will improve, you know, and push your child forward in terms of education. You know, a lot of resources has been allocated to this app. And so just be open-minded, just download the app, try it. You know, the best experience is just try the app, and you'll see how easy it is. You know, it's specifically organized by grade level. So you don't have to worry about installing the app or going all over the place and picking a resource from here, picking another resource from here. One thing that the Ministry of Education ensured was that all content is accessible from a single app. You know, so that reduces a lot of the boundaries and hurdles that parents would usually have to jump through to get access to content and other digital platforms. You know, so parents just install the app. Then once you install it, you'll see select grade level, select the grade level of your student, and then simply browse and access any one of the ebooks, audiobooks, video, or interactive content that's available.
And because this is also aligned to the national standards curriculum, then there are different subjects, clearly. And so let's look at math, for example. That seems to be that area, unfortunately, that some persons are still timid about. Explain to me now how easy it is to do work using the app, math assignments, etc.
That's a good one. So for maths, for example, what will happen is that when you look at content in the MOE e-resources app, from early childhood up to primary, you'll see that they have some interactive content there. And so it starts with first teaching the child how to count, right? You know, and so the reason why we start with early childhood as well, and the ministry has started with that content, is because if the foundation is not solid, then, you know, it's harder for that child to catch up at a later stage in school. And so what you look at some of this content that's available is that it starts with teaching the child how to count from one. You know, you have audio associated with that, that is localized with a Jamaican voice. And so you play it, you know, it's even, you have one ackee, one coconut, you know, so it also familiarizes the child with items that he or she might see in his or her everyday life. And so additionally to that, now once they learn how to count, they're able to simply input, you know, they get asked questions. What is this? You know, they're able to input this response, and whether told very good if they got it right. If they're wrong, you know, the app responds with try again. You know, we don't say you're wrong, you know, because you learn from failure. And so that's how the ministry is taking a grassroots effort to improve maths going up in the curriculum.
Well, I'm very, very pleased to hear, too, that not only is it contextual, but you see the applications in everyday life. Sometimes we believe that math is divorced from everyday experiences. So the fact that we can say one ackee plus one ackee, well, two ackees, that is important to me. And you also get an opportunity to self-correct. So should you have got an answer that's incorrect, then it also allows you to correct. And I did hear positive reinforcement. So there's nothing in the app that's going to make a child feel badly about having got an item wrong, but it gives you an opportunity to go back. Is that so? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's very much so. Yes. So the child is able to take a number of these exercises and assessment, you know, get the feedback, When they get the feedback, some of these exercises show the child what they did wrong or show you how to get to that particular answer. You know, and so then the child is now able to see what they did wrong, get an understanding, and then reset the assessment and then take it a number of times.
And you rightly said that the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has placed great emphasis on the foundations. So the early childhood, building the early childhood infrastructure is very important. We have to make sure that the foundation is there on which they're to build. So I'm happy that you've emphasized that, because without the foundations, then we're going to have deficits, and that's what we're trying to correct in the system. For those persons who would need additional tips, is there a part in the app that says there are additional tips for that person who would probably need to be guided, step 1, step 2, and so on? Is there anything like that?
So that is in some of the e-resources, not specifically in the app, but you know, this is version 1.
Yes.
And the Ministry of Education and Resources and Book Fusion will be taking feedback from not only the students, but also the parents.
Oh, wonderful.
You know, so what we're doing, we're not building out this solution in isolation. You know, we're building it to ensure it meets the needs of the students, the parents, and all the stakeholders in our education ecosystem. So if there are any deficits, you know, that will be fixed and implemented in additional versions.
Doing that's a really good posture. So we're saying that this is a wonderful resource that all parents, all students, all educators will be able to enjoy, just this teaching and learning facility. But we're also saying the feedback is important. So if they find out that you see a gap, then you're certainly open to correcting that. Well, is there anything you want to add, Dwayne, as we wrap up?
No, the only thing I'll add, go to the App Store, download the MOE e-resources app, and also the Book Fusion app for additional resources as well. And thank you.
Yes, and just keep an open mind, parents. For those of you who might not be as tech savvy, just know that it's an easy app to use. It's aligned to the National Standards curriculum, so there's no need for you to be anxious that the content deviates from what we're pushing. It is Jamaica sensitive, so the content there is very relevant. Children don't have to worry, especially with math. You're being given real life experiences, so you don't have to see math in isolation of every day. And I really want to commend Book Fusion for having put a lot of thought into this, and also the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information for adding to the kit other devices and other tools that our children can use to just ensure that teaching and learning in this virtual space happens successfully. Thank you so much, Dwayne Campbell, CEO and founder of Book Fusion.
Thank you, Kassan.
You're welcome. All right, so
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Welcome back to Educating a Nation. This is a technical show, and for some of us who may not be so tech savvy, we have with us Charlene Robinson, who is the Education Officer for Information and Technology in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. She'll be showing us how the app, she'll be showing us the app. Most of the students will be using this term. So welcome, Charlene.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yes. So please explain now. Tell me about this app that we'll be using.
Okay, so we are using we're using a learning management system that was developed by Google, which is simply a domain access, which is students get onto the app by using an email address to get onto the app. So our learning management system, we usually shorten it and call it LMS. So an LMS is a learning management system which allows persons to create documents, distribute courses. It's usually used in the learning environment, in enterprise also, to deliver courses online. It's cloud-based, and so we have this application, and so we decided to roll it out to the students and teachers so that we can approach the blended approach. This is one of the options in the blended approach that we're using for the school in this term.
Okay.
Yes.
So when we talk about the blended approach, Charlene, what exactly are we talking about?
The blended approach is definitely the use of various methods, whether online, offline, printed, to provide teaching and learning experience to students.
Okay, so we're hearing now that the learning management system, or the abbreviation LMS, is a Google platform that is used, right? So it's used in the teaching and learning process, and it's basically for the sharing of documents, and it's cloud-based, so nobody will have a problem where storage is concerned.
Definitely
There's
not.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Tell me a little bit more about how a student interacts with the learning management system.
Okay, so a student mostly interact with the learning management system in the form of accessing their Google Classroom. So we hear a lot of talk about the Google Classroom because that is where most of the activities will take place. And inside the Google Classroom now, where the students gain access to course material that the teachers will upload or put in the space for them to access. And there's a lot of features. And the next powerful thing about the Google Classroom also is that you have access to Google Meet, which provides this interactive, it's a video conferencing application by Google. And so they have also, during the pandemic, they've placed it directly inside the Google Classroom so that from their teachers can have access, and so they can have live sessions with their pupils, with their students.
So just so I'm paraphrasing here, so I'm putting on my parenting hat now, and I'm thinking from the point of a parent. Everything seems so new. Google Classroom, and we're talking about a classroom that's designed in the virtual space.
Yes.
Okay, so it's an online classroom, and there are several tools in this online classroom. And included in the tools would be Google Meets, and this is where an entire class would be on camera. Is that what I'm being told?
Yes.
And so the teacher gets to interact almost as if he or she were in the physical classroom in the traditional way. So here you have Google Meets. What else do you have in the Google Classroom?
So in the Google Classroom, students can do assessments. So there is the form that you can access, Google Forms that you can access directly from the Google Meet app, from the Google Classroom application. So teachers access this application and they're able to set assignment, the student and quizzes, and students will have direct access to these to this application. So the G Suite. So the application package itself from Google is referred to as G Suite.
All right, so let's back up now. And G Suite means a suite or a range of tools.
Right.
I'm trying to think as a parent. So we have a range of tools, and these tools for teaching and learning, they would be packaged as G Suite. SUITE.
Right.
G Suite, all right? And this is a part of the learning management system. Is that what I'm
Yes.
Okay.
So we refer to the entire tool suite as a learning management system because that's the functionality it provides to the classroom. It provides that access to tools geared towards teaching and learning.
All right. So the learning management system is the infrastructure that hosts or holds Google Suite.
Yes.
And Google Suite has several tools, including Google Classroom.
Right.
And in Google Classroom, parents, well, even parents too, because they'll be organizing and supervising teaching and learning from home. But teachers and students have the opportunity to do video interaction for the teaching and learning process. They also have an opportunity to give assignments. It also can hold documents.
Definitely.
Right, that we can share with the students and so on.
Yes.
And in order for students to access, they need a Gmail account.
Right.
All right, so I'm
Good.
learning as
Yes,
we're going
you are
along.
on track.
All right, so right, and I guess that's how you connect to
Yes.
Google Suite
Yes,
through
that's
the
how
Gmail.
you connect. That's
All
your
right.
ticket into
Okay.
the learning management system enabled by Google.
All right. So what is MOE Schools domain?
MOE Schools domain. So now, a domain is, we can refer to it as a bubble because, bubble is a term that we're using right now. So we can refer to it as a bubble. So an organization may want, for security reasons and for management purposes and all of the most efficient way of organizing and managing traffic into their in the online space, they want to create this bubble.
When we say traffic, we're talking about the number of persons who are using at that time.
Yes.
Okay.
Accessing and downloading information and things like that. So they create this bubble, which is a secure environment that they can manage. So they can manage the devices, they can manage who has access, because that drives security. So we have the big internet, but on the big internet you can create like a little bubble for an organization, that this organization now is better able to secure what takes place in their bubble. So I'm using that bubble to refer to a domain. So a domain is a specific area on the internet that users have specific access to. So only persons who have the MOE Schools Gmail account would have access to our MOE Schools domain. So it's a specific area created for accessing the ministry's learning management system.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. Can I access my Google Class while I'm offline?
Yes, you can access your Google Class while you're offline, and as we proceed, as we go on, I'm going to be showing persons, showing viewers how to download the Google Classroom. So once you download the Google Classroom, then now you can have access to the materials in an offline setting. So if you don't have internet at the particular time, you can still have access to, like, for your resources that you would have stored in like your Google Drive, you still have access to those. And so once you can continue working. So if a student is working on a document, they can continue working offline. Once the device gets back into range, in a Wi-Fi range or data range where they can pick up internet, then it automatically syncs in the background. So they won't have to worry about, oh, I need to upload this document because I was working offline. Once it gets back in range, it will automatically.
Where there's a hotspot.
Where there's a hotspot, it will automatically upload.
So then, could you access Google Class without data?
If you can access Google Class without data, yes, without data, if you have Wi-Fi.
Yes.
If you have Wi-Fi.
If you
and
have
you can access your class outside of that once you have it preloaded before.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And now the ministry has put in place with the providers the opportunity for us to access the Google Suite of without data. Yes, so that there's that opportunity. So persons don't have to have data on their device to access the Google Classroom or the applications that are provided within.
And each student now would have been provided with an email address.
Yes, so we are in the process of providing each student. So each student is provided with an email address, each teacher. Anyone that needs to access the account, the platform, the domain, needs an email address for that access.
Okay. Yesterday, I actually got a call from a parent who had a difficulty. You and I had spoken.
Yes.
And the difficulty was that an Gmail account was created before for the child.
Yes.
And because of that, there was a glitch. And your advice was, on that particular device, do not have the two accounts, because it could be that you're bumped off because of those two accounts. So is there anything you'd want to speak to parents about and students? Should there be any kind of other technical glitch? How do they navigate those? Do they call you?
Okay.
I guess they could call me as they did yesterday.
Yes. All right. So with technology, there's always going to be Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will. And so when there are unique situations that may arise on the platform, but generally, once you have that email account, you can go on and you can have multiple email accounts on your device because most of us have access for like tablets and our phone, they are Android devices. And for us to set up our device when we get it at first, we have to have a Gmail account. So outside of this, most person coming into the space, coming onto the platform, will definitely have a Gmail account already. So I will also show you how to add this new MOE school account to your device, whichever device you are using, to add it to it. And sometimes Google loves Google. So we have to ensure that, well, the browser, if we're using the Google browser, we want to ensure that we're using the Google browser. So because other browsers might give us a little challenge, but definitely using a Google browser will definitely get you in fastest.
Thank you. And can parents now access Google Classroom?
Parents can access through their child.
Through their child.
Yes. Or children.
Because their child/children would be the ones with the account.
With the account, yes. And we know that the smaller ones, they're definitely going to need that supervision from parents to access because they're not at that stage as yet. I know, although they are definitely the natives to the technology, but we definitely as parents need to provide that guidance because although we on our part, we are doing everything to ensure the safety of information that they will access on the domain, and we have put in the restrictions and everything to ensure that, but we also need to, this is just like how parents are involved in the physical class and they go to school and they they ask questions and so forth. So we want to also ensure that there is that environment, and not because the student is online, it's just the student online and the parent is not able to participate in that experience.
Wonderful. So can I access my Google Class from any device, anywhere?
Right, you can definitely access your Google from any device, anywhere, whether it's a iPhone, iOS, or Android, or Windows app.
Everything is compatible.
Everything is compatible.
All right, so we've said quite a mouthful. We've learned quite a lot. We've talked about the learning management system. The abbreviation is LMS. We've talked about Google Suite. We've talked about the Google Classroom. And all of these are interrelated. We've also talked about safety, as you just alluded to, safety online, and the importance of parents supervising that process. So that was implicit in what you just said. We also talked about the importance of that Gmail account. You said, and I quote, Google likes Google, so it's better to have a Gmail account so you can access the learning management system. I foresee our students having a whole lot of fun using this because the Google Classroom, as you said, is interactive. And this is where we are in the virtual space. Is there anything else you'd want to tell our students, parents, teachers even?
Okay, sure. All right, so because it's new to most persons, and so I just want to share that if you're having challenges, we have our help desk that is available. We also have a website that persons can go to, that's moeschools.edu.jm, that persons can go to and they can find their way as in how to get additional support. There's live chat available because I know parents and students are going to have challenges once they get on, but we are here to provide that support. Call the Ministry of Education and we'll definitely direct you to where you can get support. We also have the 1888 Educate lines.
Yes, 888 Educate, yes. All right, so thank you so much, Charlene. More Educating a Nation after this break.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become, visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Welcome back to Educating a Nation. This is a technical show. With me is Charlene Robinson. She's Education Officer for Information Technology in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. Just before the break, Charlene, we were talking about whether or not parents can access the Google Classroom. Could you provide just a little more clarification?
Yes, sure, definitely. So parents can access through their child ward, and they can also access by providing their email address to the child's teacher. The teacher now can add this email address to the child's account, and now the parent is able to get email notifications. I must say that does not allow the parent in the class session, but only provides a way of keeping the parent informed of what is taking place in the class environment, when assignments are due, what assignments are given, and so that also helps to keep the parents involved in the teaching and learning process.
All right, so that excites me because the National Parenting Support Commission is all about parental involvement in education. So that is good to know that you'll get an alert through email, and so you can stay anywhere, parents, while you're on the job. It's a prompt for you to say to your child, look, an assignment is due, where are you with it? So you get to be involved even if you're not in the space immediately supervising. So that's good to hear. And I want to go back now to talking just a little bit about the Google Suite. So do I get access to other applications with my G Suite for Education account?
Okay, sure. Definitely get access to a whole lot more in terms of applications that you can use inside the classroom and also outside the classroom. So we also have access to, for example, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, And these are applications that work seamlessly, I mean really seamlessly with most persons have Windows, Office on their computer. So they have like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint. And so in the cloud space, we have these Google application in the G Suite in the G Suite application, we have these applications. And so when we are online, we can use let's say, for example, Google Docs to create a Word document. And we can now move offline with the same document. We can download it, and it just downloads and automatically opens in Microsoft Word. So there is nothing additional that you will need to do. So that seamless application of the integration is there between the application so that you work comfortable online and comfortable offline also. There is, as I had mentioned, there's a Google Meet, so we can use it outside of the classroom. It's also one of those applications, and when we go on, I will go through the application so parents can see what these icons look like for the applications and speak a little bit more about what exactly they can do. There's calendar, there's a Google Calendar. Now schools usually have a calendar of events for the year. So now they can actually transform this calendar of events to the online classroom space, and so students will have access to this online calendar to keep them abreast of what activities are taking place in the school environment.
So it seems to me that Google Suite provides efficiency for the teacher because all these applications are now in the same space. So it also is a good use of time.
Yes.
So I like that word seamlessly. So the teacher doesn't have to go searching for anything because you're right there.
Yes.
Okay, and aids the teaching learning process. All right, sounds very exciting to me. Can I access my Google Class from any device, from anywhere? And yes, I think you answered that, but we can reiterate. Can I access my Google Class from anywhere and from any device?
Yes, so we're trying to make that as much as possible, so you can access from any device, and you can access from anywhere that you can gain access to our internet connectivity.
All right. Yes. And you did say that even if you're out of
data,
you
can access with the provisions that the Ministry of Education have made for persons to access with the telecom providers.
Wonderful. So there you have it. So there's a whole lot of information that you just had about Google Suite and what we mean by LMS, the Learning Management System, and Google Classroom, and how efficient that particular application is in terms of teaching and learning, how seamless it's going to make teaching and learning. I foresee your children enjoying that whole process because, like you said, they're more tech savvy than we are. They are natives than we are. And so I see them teaching even the teacher in some instances what needs to happen because they're very, very au fait with the different applications and so on. Just one more question about the whole learning management system and how that interplays with the national standards curriculum. Is there anything you want to speak to where that is concerned?
Okay. So the interplay with the national standards curriculum, the curriculum unit has developed its curriculum guide for how we will operate in this online space, and one of the drivers of the new curriculum is collaboration and all this foresees and all the online
communication, collaboration, critical thinking and creativity, all the four C's.
All the four C's. And so this provides that opportunity also for all of those things to take place. So for example, for Google Docs or any of the applications, the productivity tools application that are included in the application, there is the opportunity for students to collaborate. So we can have groups, we're pushing group work, and so we can have groups working together on a particular document, and the teacher is able to revise, provide comments online, and definitely guide students in collaborating. Creativity is also there. There are things that we can do in the classroom to facilitate the creativity or aspect of the national standards curriculum. And so another one of the things that is also pushed is that the individualized persons being able to create and make their own learning space, and so it's asynchronous and synchronous opportunity for students to learn in group settings and also to learn an individual on their own time situation is also available in the learning management system. And so this definitely promotes the attributes of the national standards curriculum.
All right. And then you did mention Jamboard. Could you please explain what Jamboard is?
Yes. So we thought it critical to have a feature such as Jamboard in the online space. Jamboard is a whiteboard feature. So as we have in a physical classroom, we have whiteboard or chalkboard. So in the online space, we also have that opportunity where the teacher can write on this board and students can interact. So the teacher could, for example, put an English question and let's say put a line to say what word is missing, and a student and ask a student in a live class session with Google Meet, ask a student to write in the word that is missing. Or it could be a math problem. They can draw shapes. Teacher could put on a math problem on and ask any of the students to write an answer. So students are able to interact on the board. The students could come up and write an equation and work it out as though she would go up in the physical classroom and write on that board. So we thought it important to also include a feature such as Jamboard to have that experience being part of the teaching and learning process. Because when we started the whole, when we started this pandemic, there's a lot of use of WhatsApp and these applications that do provide that vital communication with the teacher and student, but also the interaction and sharing that needs to take place that is facilitated through the use of this Jamboard facility, whiteboard. And so it supports the live sessions that the students and teacher can have.
Thank you, Charlene. More educating a nation after this break.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Welcome back to Educating a Nation. This is a technical show, and with me is Charlene Robinson. She's the Education Officer for Information Technology in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. And Charlene will now be demonstrating or giving us a demonstration using Google Suite.
Yes.
All right. So Charlene, go right ahead. Tell us now, how does this thing work? How does it all unfold?
Okay. So what we need to get onto our Google or learning management system or our G Suite for Education is an email address.
Okay.
So we need an email address. Once we have our email address, once we have our email address, we have access. And so students and teachers will get their email address from their school. We will send to the institution the email address that they are to use. So once you get that email address, if you're using any device, we need to go to google.com, and that will take us into the landing page to connect. So we will now have the opportunity to insert our Gmail account into this space, and that will take us onto.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So we go to www.google.com, and we click sign in. Well, I have a number of accounts here, so I'm going to. So you would go down, because remember I said that usually we already have an account on our machine. So we're definitely going to see something there, unless we have a brand new machine that we haven't signed in to as yet. So we go to, if we have other accounts there, we go to add another account, and we type in the space. So I'm going to type in my space here. So I'm using an account. This account is test school, so that's test.school at, and the student's account will be their names. So their names, John.Brown, and the 4 digits at the end at moeschools.edu.jm. So moeschools.edu.jm. So I put that in, and I'm going to click next, and now I'm enter my password. So each user will get a provisional password. It's just temporary. Once you log in for the first time, you are asked to change your password to something that only you will know. And again, this is why parental assistance is going to be definitely important. So parents can help the smaller ones to set up and get into their account. So I'm going to put in the password here and click next. And usually sometimes we have a little password error, because the password definitely has to be exactly as how it is presented. And as I say, Murphy's Law, if it's going to go bad, it is going to go bad. So let's see what I'm doing incorrect here. Right, so this is giving me a little challenge right now to get in. So, all right, this is not giving me the opportunity to get in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a different account that I also have. So luckily I have multiple accounts can use. So let me just go back here. So just bear with me while I just get this account up. I'm just trying to log in, so let me sign in. So I'm going to sign into my account. And once I'm into my account, I'm able to access the Google Classroom from there. And this is how we get into our account. So we get into our account by using our email address that we're given, and once we go in, we then have access to our Google Classroom and the other applications that are available.
Okay.
Yes.
And once you're in Google Classroom now, I'll give you an opportunity there just to figure that out.
Yes. All right, I'm just going to try get in another account that has the MOE schools. Okay, so once you have your account, you're able to get in. Once you're in, what I would advise too is that we download, like for example, the Google Classroom and also Google Drive, so that we have access to our resources offline.
Okay. So there's a good tip. So it's best if you download these beforehand. So even when you're offline, you'll have access to the applications. All right, so we're still trying to get into Google Classroom. I'm very excited to see what happens once you're in the classroom, to see how the different applications work.
Yes. So this is another account that I have on my MOE schools domain. So I will also note that I have a work account that is at moey.gov.jm, and the MOE school account, or the school account, will be at moeschools.edu.jm. So the email addresses that we give out will definitely have the @ sign at moeschools.edu.jm.
Okay.
So that is how you will know that this is definitely a Ministry of Education approved email address.
Okay.
And the system will only work with one of those. You'll only gain access with one of those.
Okay, so there is that distinction, very important, that it must be the MOE school account. And just to recall what the domain is, at MOE
schools,
at moeschools.edu.jm.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
So I also want to mention, I also want to mention that, so if I'm connecting on a laptop, so if we're connecting on a cell phone or a tablet, so we would go to the google.com just the same, or the Google app, or where we would sign in, and from there we would navigate to add another account, and from there we would just be given the same options where we put in this new email address, and then we will then go to the password section, we put in the password, and that now becomes an account on our device. So for some persons will have, let's say, 2 accounts on their device. So they will have their personal account on their device, and they will also have the MOE schools account on their device, and so they can communicate.
Okay.
But we also want to mention too that the MOE schools domain is a closed domain.
Okay.
Yes, remember that bubble I talked about, where for security reasons we provide that bubble provides that security where we can monitor and ensure that the information being distributed is safe for our children that are using the space.
Yes. And we did say if a parent wants to be involved, which is what we encourage, then they need to contact the teacher who will add them to the classroom.
Yes.
And they will get notifications. And that maybe is a good thing just for added security.
Yes.
So the fact is the MOE domain creates a bubble.
Yes.
So our children can be protected. And so once they have to ensure that they're using that specific account that's provided to access the Google Classroom, which is a part of the whole learning management system. All right, so we have quite a bit of information there.
You're definitely learning.
Yes, so learning as we're going along. All right, are we going to see a demonstration though of the Google Classroom?
So what I want to do next is once you go into your account that gives you access, the applications that you have available. So I'm going to go through the applications that are available. So if we go to, when we go in, at the top right, we'll see this gear. We see our 9 dot, or we call it our app waffle, to access the Google application. So all our applications we access from this space. So once I click on the 9 dots here, I am given access. So these are all the applications that I have. I also want to mention too that once we have an Android device and we want to set up that device, we have to create a Google account. And once we create a Google account, we also have access to applications such as these. So you don't have to have a MOE schools domain to have access to some of these applications. You do have access to them just by having a Gmail account.
Yes.
So everyone, once you have a Gmail account, you have access and you can perform the tasks that are here. Right, so one of the first application that is there is our account, and in the account section you are able to personalize your account. So you're actually able to add, for example, let me go over to personal information here, and you're able to change your password, and you can add a photo to your account. So when you communicate with persons, they actually can see an image of you if you so desire. And our Gmail account, that's the icon for the Gmail. So we're already in our Gmail account. And the next one here, this icon is our Drive. Now Drive is used for storage. So with your MOE Schools account, you get unlimited storage.
Okay.
So each person that has an account, you have unlimited storage. I think for other accounts, so if it's a personal account that you just created from Google, you get, I think it's 5 gigabytes of storage space. But with this account, because it's specifically for education, you get unlimited storage. And the idea is students are going to have this account. So when we give out accounts to, for example, the early childhood from that tomorrow,
Right.
they are going to have that account right through
to higher education.
education. So this is something that they will have for a number of years to come. And so they have unlimited cloud storage capacity through their Google Drive account. And then we have, this is what the Google Classroom looks like. And as I mentioned, this is going to be the most used application, or one of the most used applications in the system. Everyone, this is where the real learning and teaching and learning takes place in our Google Classroom application. We also have Docs. This is what our Docs looks like. So that's a blue paper folded right there. And that provides an application similar to Microsoft Word or any other word processing application that you can find. And that allows you to write letters, memos, and word processing activities are able to be done there. And our green paper here, this is our Sheets. And this is comparable to our Microsoft Excel. So we can do budgets, enter formulas, functions, all of those things that we can do in our Microsoft Excel, we can do in our Sheets. And remember, they work seamlessly. If we create something online, we download it, and it's also available offline, and it will open with the application that you have available on your device. Okay, so the next one is our slides. And this is, for example, PowerPoint. So we can have our students creating interactive presentations in the online space, and they're both accessible offline and work seamlessly online. Online and work seamlessly offline. And we have, this is what our calendar looks like. So this is the application for calendar.
Click and open.
And this is our application for our calendar. So in our calendar, we can set, as I had mentioned, we can set, for example, the school events for the year. We can get those done up,
Also
and then the students assign. Yes, definitely. So all these, any date associated that you want to put on online and make accessible, we can do that in our calendar. And we have Google Meet. So I had mentioned that Google Meet is also available in the classroom, and it's also available outside, because we can just have a meet if we want. So this is what our Google Meet looks like. And here it says join or start a meeting. So we'll all have access to this app. One of the things that we have done in our MOE school bubble is that we have arranged it in such a way that students are not able to start a meet.
Okay.
We don't want students going,
Right.
starting meets on their own and probably having their own little mini party and get together in this online space. So we don't allow students to start their own meets. And we also don't allow students to create a class. That is the exclusive responsibility of the teacher.
Who is the manager of the classroom.
Who is the manager of the classroom.
All right, so those elements from the physical or traditional way of teaching and learning are still maintained. So the teacher is the manager of the classroom. The teacher gets an opportunity to dictate when a meeting starts.
Yes.
And that also protects the children as well. So I'm in total agreement with that.
Yes.
Can we go through now to see the others?
Okay, so that's our Google Meet. We have Corinne's site. Oh, I also want to mention, for example, as I may come up on sites. So, for example, for the bigger students who are doing that, the CXCs and all of this is now like a school-based assessment. Those are done online. So this is a space where we can have the students. So if they're typing up their social studies, their religious education, school-based assessment, they can do it in this space, and offline and online, send that to their teachers for assessment or grading or just to review, and the teachers are able to insert comments and give the students feedback in the online space.
Okay.
Yes, and so sites I know for information technology, I know for information technology, the students are asked to create like a website, and they're asked to do use multiple applications. So they'll do something in Excel, they'll do something in slides, in Word. So they have to create all of these different applications. So we also facilitate that with the different applications that are available here. We can set up our groups in our classes, so we can group students. Teachers may want to group students based on different criterias. You want to have your students in your groups, so you can do that with the group.
So just so I am clear on that, so you have different criteria for different groups, but that is simultaneously managed with the whole school, with the whole class, I beg your pardon.
Yes, with the whole class
engagement.
Yes, yes.
This is like a breakout room online then?
Yes,
okay.
I told you were up to speed with all this thing, I told you.
Right, so that's another component for group activities. So just the same way in the physical classroom, where a teacher would have grouped you, whether according to interest or just activity, or just to reinforce that whole process of collaborative learning. But it's the same way in the virtual space now. You can have different breakout groups. So that's a good thing to know. I'm liking the fact that the elements from the physical classroom have been brought to the online space.
Yes.
So teacher management of the classroom, the Jam board, the fact that we have to encourage interaction in the virtual space, that's important.
Yes.
Because children have to keep active in terms of their learning engagements, and there's also opportunities for collaboration and so on.
Yes.
The whole Google Suite, I think, will also spur critical thinking, because you're always having to manage several applications, and you have to know, seriously think about what you want to do and which application is the one that's right, is best suited for that. So I do see the elements, and of course we have the principles of the National Standards Curriculum also coming out. So I'm very excited that this online or virtual space is not a compromise of the values, the principles, the philosophies of the National Standards Curriculum.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes. All right, so we can continue looking at some of the other applications that are also available in the system. And so we also have right here, we have a link to YouTube, and this is a kids version, because again, we have to ensure that the content students are exposed to is up to par with the Ministry of Education. There's also another popular, well-used application is forms. So forms can be used for assessments, quiz, and surveys. So we create a form and we're able to share it or send it out to persons. They respond, and we are able to get that response. Totally
in real time.
Online, in real time.
In real time.
Once they click submit, we get a spreadsheet document is created with the responses that they would have included in their form. and we get that in real time. Yes. And one of the things that we're using the form to do, or the student assessment unit is using forms, is to deliver the diagnostic test that we are doing right now. So schools are sent the diagnostic test. They're sent they're sent the link to the test, and then they'll share that with the students in the situations where that is possible. And so they can access, and once the students fill out the diagnostic assessment, the responses are shared with the teacher and also with the student assessment unit.
So the teacher gets the plan intentionally.
The teacher gets
the plan intentionally, because now they would have had the assessment results, which would have perhaps highlighted not just the strengths, but the gaps. Well, not perhaps. They would have highlighted the strengths and the gaps, so the teachers now get a plan very intentionally for his or her class. Because, and everything is done in real time.
It's real time. Okay. Definitely. Everything is done in real time. So once the school shares that with the students, and the students get on, complete it, click submit, everyone gets that result and is able to do their analytics of the information, because the student assessment unit will definitely set the assessment in such a way that meaningful information is being able to gather to guide the process and teaching and learning going forward.
So as much as this hybrid system presents some anxieties for some teachers and parents, and perhaps to a lesser extent students, the fact is I'm seeing so many opportunities for teaching and learning. I am not yet seeing a compromise of the education of children. In fact, this is what you're saying, they're natives. I'm going to be using that. This is their time. It is the information age, and these are the technologies that they have available and they have been using. So here it is now, we're ensuring that technology in education, which I know was a policy and I hope it remains. I need to go back to the email thread. I think it remains technology in education, one of those priority policies in education. So here we have seeing the policy hit the ground in real ways, because our students, teachers, and parents get an opportunity to use the technology for teaching and learning. And this is unlike other uses of technology. This is a positive, because you're actually using it for wholesome learning and good interactions. We are not alleviating the teacher of his or her responsibilities for classroom management. So you would have heard that the teacher will set the meeting times, and the children don't get an opportunity to just go in and create online parties or to share information that might later on put them in trouble, right? Might compromise their own safety. So that too has to be managed. I think it's only responsible for us to reiterate the importance of online safety. Just understand, students, that all the protocols must be adhered to. I know some of you are very tech savvy, and some of you will be doing all kinds of research to see how you can breach the protocols. And we understand that, so we're going to be on top of things. Each teacher will ensure that the guidelines are communicated, and parents get an opportunity to hear these guidelines. They will understand them, and they too get to be a part of this teaching learning process. I would encourage parents to send your emails to the teachers so you're added to the classroom, so you too can be held responsible. You will also get an opportunity to say to your child, you know, this assignment is due, or this research paper will complement the learning that you're doing. So parents get an opportunity to be actively involved in the process as we want them to be. So here it is. We've gone through quite a bit this morning. We've talked about the learning management system. We've talked about the fact that Google Suite is really just an array of tools, of applications that have been put together in a very efficient way. And that also includes Google Classroom. And Google Classroom, in that classroom, there are many different applications to ensure that we have good teaching, learning outcomes, and those processes will be interactive. We have also learned that there's not going to be a compromise of the national standards curriculum. In fact, we believe that the technology will enhance the tenets of the national standards curriculum that we're still implementing and we're still pushing. You'd have heard that enough this morning, parents, that if you are still not familiar with the standards curriculum, that you need to go now online. The Ministry of Education's website has the national standards curriculum. Go and download the curriculum that aligns to your class, your child's class, so you can get familiar. And get familiar with the applications. It's easy to use, just a click. Just click and see what the applications are about and practice. If your child has not yet had the email account, just know that that is being provided. This week is just to sort things out. This is what's about, and to sensitize you of all the different things that we have planned for you. All right? And so there you have it. Thank you so much, Charlene Robinson, for having shared as we continue to talk about not just technology in education, but schooling in the virtual space. If you have any questions, you can send them certainly to the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, the National Parenting Support Commission. We do have helplines that we have launched, to also the social media pages, or you can even send them to TVJ, who will pass them on to us. So stay tuned, and we're now on to a break. Thank you so much. We'll be back shortly.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Welcome back to Educating a Nation. This is a technical show, and we still have Charlene Robinson. As I said before, she is the an education officer in the for information and technology in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. So we're going to go straight to the Google Classroom, and this excites me because then we get to see how teaching and learning will all unfold using the Google Classroom. So take it away, Charlene.
Okay.
You'll demonstrate for us what that looks like.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so just continuing to look at our apps, I just want to show you one more app before I jump into or get into the classroom. So that is our Jamboard, which I spoke about, which provides the opportunity now to have a whiteboard. So this is my whiteboard space right here, and we can add content to the whiteboard space. We have our tools on this side, and so we can insert an image, we can write on the board, we could change the color of what we're writing, and so the tools, we can erase all of this. So the tools are right here, and what we can do, we would do is share this now with our students. And all the students that we share with would be able to also have access to the tools and interact. We can do that interaction where they can comment, and we can interact live with the Jamboard. All right, so let's jump into our classroom now. So I'm going to go into the Google Classroom, which I consider the heartbeat of the application. This is where most of the activities are going to take place, or one of the applications where most of the applications take place. So once I get into my classroom, so I am the teacher. I already have two classes set up, and that is my 9 Blue class and my grade 1 Blue class. So these applications. But I also want to mention too, that we have the opportunity to not just set classes that are for teaching and learning, but we can set up situational scenarios. So for the devotion, we spoke about having that devotion time. We can create a class for devotion, and so we share the scriptures and the content that we want to use for that devotional session. We can also, there's also the opportunity to take the register in that devotional session.
Well, that's what I was actually going to ask about, because as we talk about teaching in the virtual space, we also have to account for students.
Yes.
That's still an important activity.
Yes,
so just the same way where you'd have the roll call in the mornings,
yes.
we have to make sure that we're accounting for each child.
Yes.
So there is a component now for online registration.
Yes, there's definitely that opportunity for online registration, both for teachers and students. So there's that ability to have that in our classroom. So we could also have a classroom for a club. For our club sessions. So we want to mirror as much as possible the physical class. So for our club sessions, we could create a classroom, and we know we have these students that are in this club. We invite the students at that particular time, because clubs do have clubs do have, like, they usually have a teacher who monitors the session. So we could have, so let's say a club that we could have a popular one that they have is, for example,
The Builders Club.
Builders Club, yes, we can use that. Builders Club. So we could create a classroom called Builders Club. And this room is going to use this school academic year for the room that we're using, because it's online space, we won't have a physical room, but it's definitely during this time period that we're having. So that is 2020 to 2021. So that's our, and I'm going to just say this is mine. Let's create that Builders Club. And we have access to put in all the students that are in the Builders Club in one space, and we can have our meetings when we desire. And so
is
this
there
also,
an opportunity to close that room so persons who would not have been a part of the Builders Club don't get to join, don't get to come in?
Definitely.
And maybe disrupt the proceedings.
Definitely, there is that opportunity.
Okay.
And where do we find that opportunity? What I want to suggest is that, so in the Builders Club, when we go, we want to, instead of inviting the students in the club via a link, what you want to do is use their email address and send them an invite. So anybody that gets that invite is, definitely belongs in the club. When we use, so we want to discourage on our learning management system, we want to discourage the use of sharing of the links.
Okay.
Yes. So when we share the link, let's say we know, okay, we had or have a WhatsApp group for the students in our Builders Club. And it's easy to just copy the link, put it in our WhatsApp group, and all the students have access. And once they have the access, then they can join. But you also now create the opportunity for that link to get to anybody else.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you don't want to create that. So you minimize the opportunity, or almost eliminate by sending it directly to their email address, so that anybody that comes in, they are definitely a part of the Builders Club. And we want to do that with our classes that we create also. We want to ensure that we invite the students via their email addresses and not via the link.
So let's go back to that blue, the blue class?
Yes, so let's go back. So if we go here, we get a listing of all our classes. And so we have our Builders Club, and now so we can see. So we'll have a whole lot
would be on for the blue class.
Yes.
So we'd click on that, and the same principles apply. The teacher would now send the link to the emails.
Yes, invite the students via email.
Via email to say your math session is on.
Yes.
And there's a room created, and of course, nobody gets to decide who else comes in that classroom, because that space is going to be managed by the teacher. Okay.
Yes, definitely by the teacher. So this is our subject, our home room, because home room, we also want to create sessions for home room, definitely. So let's say this is our home room. This is 9 Blue. So we have a class code for 9 Blue, but again, we're not sharing the class code. As a teacher, we invite the students via their email address. We also have access to the Meet. So we want to have, let's say, once per week, we want to have a devotional session where it's interactive, where we can have the students come on and have a meeting online. We can generate a Meet, and that will give us, let's do got it, and that will give us a link that we can share on our stream, and all the students that are in the class will have access to the Meet. So they go on at 8, they click on the Meet, and they know, you know how this live session will look, where we are able to see, once they have their cameras on, we're able to see them. Yes. And so they can play their little devotional song, first ask someone to pray, and all of that can take place, and really feel like that class bond is there between the students, even though they're not in the physical space.
And just to reiterate, as we said this about the cameras being on, that the stipulations for dress code and so on should be reinforced. So if your school has decided, and if there's consensus that for online teaching, learning, then everybody will dress, the teacher will come in her professional wear, as she would have been accustomed to, and the students will wear uniform or whatever other mode of dress that is agreed on. then that's what you're to wear, because you'll be on camera. Everybody's going to be able to see you. And it would be good too if you found a space in your home that is also a friendly space. I would say if you can, don't be in a bedroom. But isn't there an opportunity to create a background?
Yes.
Right. So maybe you could show. Is there a way to demonstrate that, to show that,
No,
you know, if you're not able to do that now? But that's something students and parents, you could also look into, that if your setup is in a bedroom space, perhaps that's not what you want to show when the cameras are on. So there is an opportunity to create a background. So that's what other persons in the classroom would see, the teachers as well as other students. So we're trying to find a safe or more user-friendly space to have your teaching and learning engagements. Is there anything else you want to demonstrate? Any of the other tools? Yes.
To pick up on the point that you make about the dress code. And so that's a part of why we're sticking to asking students to get dressed, to present yourself.
Yes.
But this is a new norm that we're teaching our students, and we have to let them understand that, okay, when we go out into the work world, you will be required to attend these online meetings. Do you go to these online meetings? So you have to look professional, and it's good practice for them to start this idea and mindset, that mindset change or opportunity to practice what they will be doing or how they should operate.
Yeah, but in addition, I do believe for the psyche it's good, because it makes them realize that this is really school. So even though you're at home and you're online, you're not in the physical classroom the way you're accustomed to. It is still school. And all the rules, all the protocols, all the expectations are what we must adhere to. And we just want to encourage teachers to ensure they communicate the expectations at the beginning or even prior to each engagement, so we don't have embarrassing situations. It is also a responsibility to keep our children safe. And you would have been told that the Ministry of Education has created this bubble, and that's the reason every child has his or her own personal account to the MOE schools domain. That's important, because nobody else, if you don't have that approved account, you will not get access to the classroom or the entire learning management system. All right? So because we're really trying to ensure that as we engage this, where children are safe.
Yes.
All right? And safety certainly includes the way they attire or the way they dress to come to access these online sessions, okay? We don't want anybody being embarrassed. Okay, so I'm still not over the go to classroom. Yes, I still want to learn some more. Yes.
Yes, let's continue our look. So once you're in a classroom, this is how your classroom space is going to look. So we have 4 tabs at the top. So we have stream, we have our stream, which is where we would have notifications, announcements, and reminders. This is where the teacher can. So the teacher can write here, and all the students in the class will see the post that has been made. So forgot it. So let me just make a quick post. So let's say, welcome to schools not out. And I will click on post. And all my students, if you note, it actually said all students. I could actually, so all students will see the post that I would just put up. So all students in the class. So any reminders?
Of course, if there's anything that you'd want to speak to one child specifically about, without the others knowing, you could also type, but click on that.
Yes, that one child. You can send that particular child a notification, a message to speak to something. You can even email that particular one child. And once we put things in our calendar, we can have upcoming to see. We get a little, reminder in our upcoming section right here of what is due. So when the assignment is due, once you get into your classroom, you will see it in this section here that you have an upcoming assignment that is due, or a quiz or some activity. You can also, teachers can post ideas, concepts, or anything here that you want the students to discuss about.
I want to ask a question. How do you manage that teaching learning space to ensure you know who speaks when?
Who speaks when?
Yes. So if we're in a physical class, I gather students would raise their hands and the teacher would identify because unless you purposefully want chorus responses, which is not something that a lot of people hide what they don't know through chorus responses or choral responses.
Yes.
But how do you now manage that space so that each child gets an opportunity to say?
Okay, so what we can do is when we put up a discussion, we can start a discussion, and we can ask that each student give a comment on that discussion topic. So that ensures that all students, and students love to do work that is graded. So what we can do is assign like a small grade point to ensure that the students express themselves in their in that discussion.
But I think I want you to go a little further. So how do you manage so that they don't have other interactions and they're distracted? So how do you manage so that a child won't be talking to somebody else while you're teaching?
Right, so you're talking in the live sessions
In the live
now,
sessions, yes.
Right. So we can turn off their mics. Yes, they can raise their hand if they want to.
But is there a way to control the fact that they could be typing to somebody privately?
If they type into someone, no, we don't have control of their keyboard.
All right, so there you have it, Google.
But once you're in the group, and that is why teachers will ask the students to turn on the cameras. When the camera is on, you're more engaged.
Yes.
So that is part of the why the teachers will say, all right, this is a live session, so turn your cameras on, because when the camera is on, you are sure, or you know, you're more confident that they are paying attention, because that paying attention is important, and you can, you know, just glance over, you get a split screen of all the cameras that are on, and you're able to see what they are doing at that particular time.
So no note passing virtually.
No.
Okay, so if the cameras are on, chances are the teachers would be able to catch if somebody's busy typing somebody else privately.
Not paying attention.
And not paying attention.
Yes,
All right.
Yes. And these are things, it's a mindset change that needs to be required, and these are things that the things that we have to put in place to get the students to understand how to function efficiently in the online space. All right, so let me continue in our Google Classroom. So the classroom now is where the work gets done. So in the classroom, we have the opportunity now to create all of these assignments, quiz, questions. So we're doing a literature review, or we're reading a story, and we want to give some guided questions. We can do that, just give a post of a question, and again ask the students to respond and ensure that it's worth them responding. So you want to give like a point, because once they know they're going to get a mark for it, they're going to get a grade for it, they'll definitely try to participate.
Okay.
Yes, and so that's part of the asynchronous and synchronous part of the whole session. So we can create assignments, and this is what I was saying, that Google Forms is what is used in the space to create assignments. So once we click on assignment, it takes us into, it's actually a Google form that it takes us to, and we're able to now create a title of what our assignment, we can give instructions, and then now we can go ahead and add questions to our assignment, or how the assignment will be delivered or structured. All right, so we can do a quick quiz. And so we have the icon here. This is our Google Forms icon also. And again, our title, instructions, and we'll get a blank quiz, which we will now use to access our questions. I'm going to read these. So we can put our question here. So if you have a question, if you could give me a question, and I could show you how that would play out. So let's say, what is the capital of Jamaica? So the teacher, so this could be a multiple choice question, so the teacher gets the opportunity to say what type of question this is. So it could be a short answer, little more than a short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes. So there are different styles that the teacher can use to the question. So it's not compromised into how the type of questions that can be created.
So, and the different levels.
And the different levels.
Right, so it's not just recall. No. Right, okay.
So it can be open-ended or closed. So this is how they would utilize the quiz. And so once this is up, it is posted in the classroom. You can set the time, you set the points that the question will word, so students know all of this information.
And can this be time sensitive as well? That the test must be completed in a given time? Will it be time sensitive?
No, we're not.
Oh.
We're not able to capture
that would
the
be
time
communicated,
sensitive. Yes.
though.
But
Yes.
if you want it to be time sensitive that much, there's add-ons that we can include that will facilitate that. And there's also where if it's a class session, then you say, okay, you're to do, this is our class session, you're to do the assessment in this time period. You have 20 minutes to do it. So because it is live, the feedback is live, so once the students submit, you will see that they have submitted. So once that 20 minutes is up, you can say, okay, I have not seen a submission from James, and so forth. So that you can actually do the time through that method. Right, so let's just continue in our classroom just to give you what else is in our classroom. So I went to already the people section where we add. So we can have multiple teachers in our class. We have teachers that co-teachers, so we can have multiple persons, so we can have more than one teacher in the classroom. And I spoke to having the students being able to join the class through you sending them an invite link, an invite through their email. That's where they will join. So this is our people section. So you see a listing of all the students that are in the class. And we could actually, if you click, this one is not active at the moment because the student needs to join the class. That's why it just says invite. So this student actually has an invitation waiting in their email to join this class session. Yes. But we could email a student. And this is also where we would click on the student and we get the opportunity, the option to invite the parent. So this is where we'll go to invite the parent to that particular class. And remember, the parent is not in the class, but only, because I know teachers will, being a teacher, teachers will get concerned about that, because the class space is really for the teacher and the student. And so teachers may get concerned about that, but it's just that they get an email notification to keep the parent involved in what is taking place in the classroom. And I don't have any grades as yet, but here we'll see assignments that we would have given out and the grades that they have received so far.
And those would not be published?
No, the students will only see their grades.
The students would only see their grades?
Yes, yes. They actually don't have this option. If you go into a student account, they don't have this option as this is here. Right. So just to mention a navigation section that will take you to the classes. So to see all your classes, because some students, especially the bigger students, the high school, secondaries, they may have multiple classes that they are a part of. They will have multiple classes that they are a part of. And the clubs and the
so they would
other
have
sessions,
several icons now showing different classes
or crates.
And all the activities for the day, co-curricular activities, devotion perhaps?
Yes.
Okay.
So they know exactly where to go for devotion. And what some schools have done is, for example, here, the cell phone icon, but they put the school icon, the school logo there. So you want to create that sort of unique uniformity so that the students know exactly, this is my online space, this is where I go for registration and devotion, this is where I go for English class, this is where I go for math class, and they understand all of that information. All right, so this is where they'll navigate, they'll see the listing of the classes and the teachers, the calendar is here, they can keep a track of what is taking place. Also, also a part of this, I just want to mention where we would go for additional information. So we also have our moeschools.edu.jm website, which is this section here. So once you type that into your browser, you are able to access. We are in the process of putting on resource materials, support, links. There's a video on that will show you how to sign in, because I know that's something that parents and students would like access to right now. They want to know how to get into their account. And so we're making the resources available. We're providing as much support as possible. We know this is a new environment, and so we definitely appreciate the need to provide support to all our stakeholders in this online learning space.
All right, so the fact is that even though you would have had this mini tutorial today, support is still available after this engagement. You certainly can email the Minister of Education, you can go to the website, you can call the help desk because we do have a help desk in place now. 888-EDUCATE is one of the numbers. There are also other numbers that you can look on the website and you'll see, or on the social media pages of the Minister of Education, Youth and Information. You can also call the National Parenting Support Commission at 967-7977 for additional questions. Perhaps you could contact TVJ and they'll pass on the questions to us as well. So there are many modes of communication with the Minister of Education. We have learned so much today as we try to educate you on what's happening or what's going to happen in the virtual space. I have seen so many things. I've learned quite a lot today, and there's some of the tools that I'll be using almost immediately in my own teaching learning processes with parents, because we do parenting education as well. So all right, so we will be right back. We're taking a short break, and then when we come back, we will wrap things up. We'll also be talking about the different social media platforms. So we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Thank you and welcome back. So we're actually almost at the end of today's Educating a Nation. May I remind you of how you can access the National Learning Management System. If you have not yet got the credentials for login, we're asking you to contact the school, your child's school, to ensure that there is an email and password that is provided. Of course, once you have received the email and the address and password, you're to go to the Google Chrome browser, search gmail.com, click sign in, and then you sign in with the email and the password that would have been provided by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. May I also remind you of two of the lines for the help desk. We have 888-EDUCATE, 888-EDUCATE, and 888 school time, that's 888-SCHTIME, Educate School Time. I want to thank certainly Charlene for stopping by, for talking to us about all that's happening in the virtual space as it relates to teaching and learning, for walking us through the different applications under the Google Suite and the overarching learning management system. You'd have learned quite a bit today, students and parents and teachers. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about resilience, and we're going to be looking at the 7 R's of resilience. We also will continue with the psychosocial support. Of course, you know, this is very important. We must give our children an opportunity to filter through and to understand not just what they're going through, because we're still going through a pandemic, but why it is that they have to be engaging in teaching and learning in these new spaces. So we have to filter through their concerns. Of course, the theme will be the 7 R's of resilience, and we begin at 9 o'clock. Please remember to stay in and stay safe and stay connected. We always want to remind you of the protocols. Wash your hands, wear your masks, maintain physical distancing. It's very important that if we have to be in the same space, if you notice today we were not very close at all, that you ensure that you're distant enough from the person who you're engaging with. We also encourage you that if you don't have access to running water, then you use the hand sanitizers. We need everybody to be safe so that we can get on with the business of teaching and learning. So those are the safety tips. Remember, tomorrow, the 7 R's of resilience. We'll be talking about what it means to just be resilient. How do we bounce back? How do we navigate this thing called COVID-19 pandemic, even while we engage through teaching and learning? We understand that some persons might still have concerns, so we want to encourage you, rather, to call the Ministry of Education, to visit the website, to continue to talk to us via social media. The Ministry of Education has very active social media pages, so be sure to write your questions. Of course, there are 2 help desk numbers that I would want to repeat: 888-EDUCATE, that's 888-338-2283, and 888 school time, that's 888-SCHTIME, 888-724-8463. The National Parenting Support Commission has also launched 36 helplines. We want you to call the helplines. The helplines have been designated on a per parish basis. And if you can't have, or if you don't have access to the helpline numbers, you can always call the landline number at 967-7977. You can also email us at nationalparentingsupport@moey.gov.jm, and we'll be happy to listen to all your concerns and to provide the answers. So just a quick recap. We went through quite a bit today about the learning management system. We also talked to Dwayne from EduFocus, and he talked to you about the importance of accessing the different applications that the Ministry of Education would have ensure that's now available. They're available in the Google Play Store or in the Play Store in general, and so you can access those applications as well. We want to ensure that all our children are ready. So come tomorrow, we're talking about resilience, the 7 R's, and it was so good being with you today. We continue at 9 o'clock in the morning. Thank you so much. Please remember to stay safe.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.